Blossom Social's been blowing up the social media space when it comes to investing, and I have to say it is absolutely an amazing app. But I had a bad experience recently, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you all about it and what happened. Before we do that, obviously, we're going to examine my portfolio. We're going to see how it's performing, buy some stocks, see the dividends we earned since the last video that I posted. My name's Darren. This is the Crazy Canuck Investor, where I try to make investing a little bit easier for beginners because, let's face it, there's nothing that gets you ready for that first day of your investing journey, and I do it by sharing my journey with all the ups and downs along the way. So follow me along on my journey, and we'll get you started on your investing journey. All right over into the portfolio, not wasting any time. Portfolio is up to $155,734, and my account is comprised of 4 separate accounts. That is my cash account, my kids' RESP, my RRSP, and my TFSA, which is the star of the show. The cash account is sitting at $26,091.32. It is my emergency fund. If you don't have one, you should get one set up, clear off old debt, pick a brokerage, and go from there. This account pays out 4.25% interest. It is a Wealthsimple account. And of course, lately the Bank of Canada has been slashing rates, so this account's interest rate has been falling correspondingly. Now, of course, if it started to go up, we would get more. But with the cash sitting around, I want to earn some interest, and that right now, this month, I've earned $70.89. And what I do with that money is I take that and put it into a spousal, and guess what? Something big happened with Wealthsimple when it comes to spousal accounts, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's jump over into the kids' RESP. It is sitting at $72,127. Now, this is for both of my kids, and we've been investing in it for a long time. But going back in time in my video series, if you're new to my channel and you have kids and you want to get started with an RESP, you should watch the videos that I posted about these RESPs so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. All right, we have 2 kids. We make contributions every 2 weeks to that account to max out. You're allowed to have a maximum contribution for each kid, and we split that up at $100 every 2 weeks. And of course, then we get the government grants that come along with that. Wealthsimple's app is a robo account right now. It is not DIY, so I do pay a small fee for it. Here's the performance on the account. Like I said, $72,127. At the bottom, it shows you your asset allocation, and it is broken down much similar to the ones that I have set up in my other accounts. Okay, so if we jump over and have a look at the all-time performance of the account, net deposits are $59,459. Returns on the account to date, $12,660. This account has only been invested in since April of 2023. That's when I started investing. The simple returns on this account are 21.29%. Now, it is across all of my accounts right now because the markets have been going really well. I would describe them as on fire, and you guys have probably seen that in your investing accounts, even if you're just starting out. So it's nice to see that we're getting some nice returns there. Jumping over to the activity tracker, we're gonna take a step back since the last video I posted, and we'll take a look at what's going on as far as what we've done since then. So we made contributions of $100 each, and then that was invested into ZEA, EEMV, and then finally we had reoccurring deposit again of $100 for each kid. So that wraps up what's going on in the activity tracker. All right, let's jump over into the RRSP. The RRSP is my RRSP, and performance-wise over the day, it's up $6.36. Over the last week, it's up $92.86. Like I said, things have been going really well of late. Over the last month, up $277.03. And over the last 3 months, this account's up $1,084.61. Over the last year, it's up $3,279. And over the last all-time returns, we have $2,963. As you can see by the 1-year return there, the markets have been on fire, so we're seeing some good returns. All right, jumping into the cash in the account. I don't make contributions. The goal right now for me is to max out that tax-free savings account. You want to take advantage of that room in your tax-free savings account. And if you're new to investing or new to the channel, you want to go back to the beginning, and I have a playlist that follows all my purchases from day one in April 2023 up to date. So you can see all of the changes, all of the buys, all of the dividends that have been brought into this account since I started it in April of 2023. All right, so we only have 4 cents in cash in there in Canadian. It's actually 3 cents in US. And of course, in your RRSP, you can have a Canadian and US account. I am a premium customer with Wealthsimple, so I don't actually pay any fees for that particular account. All right, here's a quick overview of the entire account with everything that is in it. So if you want to check out each individual holding, you can do that by pressing pause and rewind. Or you can just slowly watch along as I play them to you guys right now. And I have a mix of ETFs, single stock positions, and some covered calls. And since I started investing, of course, I've been making some changes to this. That's why I'm suggesting you go back in my library and start watching from the beginning so you can see what I changed and why I changed it. All right, so Plaza RIA paid out 23 cents. EAT UN paid out $8.79. And like I said, these are set on drip. So you can see that Plaza RIA was reinvested, as was the EAT. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump over into passive, which is one of the programs that I use to track all the performance in the accounts. And we're going to take a look at the RRSP. So over the time of the account, we've been net contributions of $12,742. And you can see here by this graph, it's just been a steady increase, but of course we're not making contributions, which is why that one line is flat. Net change, $18,156. Rate of return, 28% on this account. The investment growth in the account, $5,414. Those are dividends, and those dividends are reinvested with DRIP. This chart's great because it shows you month to month with each security what you're buying and how much you made each month. And that's why I love passive. So if you want to get started with passive, I have a link in the video description below. You'll save some money. I've had quite a number of people use this because I think it's a great app to use. There are other ones that are out there, but for me, this is the one that works the best. Average monthly returns and dividends, $95. We haven't paid any fees or commissions because this is one of the upsides of Wealthsimple. Now, there are other brokers out there, so make sure you do your own research, but for me, Wealthsimple works the best. Here under the dividends total, you can see broken down by each security how much each has been paying out. And of course, the total dividends in this account, $1,738 over the last year and a half that I've been investing in this account. All right, over to the TFSA. For the last day, we're down $29.27. Over the last week, we are up $337. Over the last month, we are up $1,006. And over the last 3 months, we're up $2,581. And over the last year, we're up $5,528. Like I said, the markets have been killing it lately. And over all-time returns, $5,434, which is 16%. For me, I couldn't be happier. I know there's people out there that would say that that's maybe not the greatest returns, but for me as an average beginner investor, I think that's absolutely fabulous. All right, so we have 51 cents in there, but we're going to throw in our $1,000 into this account in order to invest every 2 weeks. We do that. So we're going to throw our $1,000 in there and we're going to get investing. All right, so let's go down here to stock lending. Stock lending's turned on. We've earned $2.17 since we started doing it. Next payout October 15th. And of course, we can see here that Plaza REIT and XEC are on loan. This changes day to day, and the app will show you what's out for loan. So 37 shares of Plaza REIT, 70 shares of XEC, and based on that, you then get a return or a payout every month on that. Okay, down over to the portfolio. So once again, give you a quick snapshot of the portfolio. You can see here the top is BAM. And of course, here we see CNR. This was a recent addition to my TFSA. You have to go back and watch the previous videos and you'll understand why I've added this particular position to my portfolio. Again, this comprised of ETFs, some single stock positions, mostly ETFs, sorry, and single stock is the trailing end. And then I have some covered calls as well. And again, I've been making changes, so go back, check out those videos to see what I've done over time. All right, into the activity tracker, we had VRE pay out $4.11, which was reinvested. Plaza REIT paid out $1.46 with the manufactured dividend. The manufactured dividend comes from the stock lending. When you lend it out, then Wealthsimple has to give you a manufactured dividend for its total. But of course, DRIP is set up, so all of that was then reinvested back in. There's our stock lending earnings for the account, which was 19 cents and 31 cents. And then finally, there's Plaza REIT being reinvested back into the position. All right, so we're going to put the money into the account. Now, if you've been following me for a while, or you want to go back and watch the videos because you're new here, you'll see that Passive has not been able to figure out how to show a transfer from my cash account in Wealthsimple over to my TFSA. So what I'm doing is circumventing that to be transparent. I'm sending the money from my external bank account, which is TD right now, and then depositing it and moving money from Wealthsimple to TD. That way Passive catches it as a deposit. So there the money is deposited back into the account, making it $40,000.82. Now we're going to use Passive in order to figure out what to buy, which is an absolutely great way for you to use your asset allocation and not have a lot of painful thought process into what you want to buy. Let's go over some metrics. The TFSA account is got $23,821 in it invested so far, but we know that number's incorrect. You can actually see on my bar graph there where I started this month again transferring money externally, it shows up as a deposit. So it's going to take a while for that to settle out. I do have a help ticket in with Passive. They've been pretty good about trying to solve this issue. But I don't know when they're going to solve it. So for the meantime, I have been keeping a spreadsheet to show total deposits into the account. But for now, we just have to rely on what it says. Jumping over, we can see that the bar graph is very representative. So we see a steady incline in our growth in the account, but you can see there that blue line's pretty flat with investment amount because it doesn't show those transfers, even though the account's been growing and we're putting money into it. All right, so the net change in the account, $29,345. And the rate of return, 12.55%. Not staggering great, but I still think it's amazing because if you looked at me in April of 2023, I had nothing invested. So that to me is great. Investment growth, $5,675. And again, here we can see all of the dividends that have been paid into the account via this graph. And of course, we have that one big spike. That's because some of the ETFs that I'm investing in now only pay out every 6 months. So every 6 months, we're going to see a huge spike in the amount of dividends that get paid out. All right, let's jump over and look at the per security, each dividend that's paying out. HYLD has paid out the most dividends. Obviously, it's a covered call, so that's why we're seeing a bigger dividend. And it goes down from there. Single stocks pay out less. They're more focused on growth. So I think I have a decent balance in my account, covering off all the things that I want. And keep in mind, when I started investing, I didn't know what I was doing, which is the motto of my channel, because nothing gets you ready for that first day of your investing journey. And so I have to learn over time, which is why I started my channel. I want to share with you guys so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. All right, let's jump over into Passive and look at the account as a whole. So we have our asset allocation set up. You're going to see a video pop up on the screen here. I did a video on what it is and how it works. All right, so we're 94% accurate on it. There we only have 51 cents, but boom, there, it's updated. We now have our $1,000.51. The account's at $40,069. And what we're going to do is Passive then takes that amount of money that's deposited. It's going to look at it and determine what we should buy for each security. So the first thing it's telling us to buy is Plaza REIT 1 share of QQC, 4 shares of VFV, and 1 share of VRE, that's our REIT ETF, 2 shares of XEC, 8 shares of XEF, and of course I'll spare you that. I'll go ahead and make all those purchases and then we'll come right back to things. Okay, so after making those purchases, we ended up with $12.26, and so I'm going to find a little bit more cash. I'm going to pull out $25 more throw that in there. It's a little bit more than I normally invest every 2 weeks, but time in the market is better than timing the market, and we use dollar cost averaging. So what we're going to do is we're going to deposit that $25 in, and then we're going to go ahead and make another purchase. So of course, we're going to use passive to help us figure out what to buy. What I generally do is I go back in and I'll look at each position and make a determination. Now, what it's telling me is I should buy 1 share of QQC. So we're going to go ahead and buy 1 share of QQC. Okay, so after buying 1 share of QQC, we have $5.21 left. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to buy 1 share of Plaza REIT because it's under $4. And then finally, we're going to be left with a very minuscule amount of money, which is $1.27. And all we're going to do with that is we're going to make a fractional purchase of Plaza REIT because it's such a small amount of cash. So in the beginning of the video, I told you that I had a bad experience with Blossom Social. But the thing is, it's not a big deal. And I'm going to tell you all about it here in this part of the video. But for those of you who don't know what Blossom Social is, it is an absolutely amazing app that can help you connect with other investors. Everybody from beginners like me to more advanced investors, and of course the people that developed it. The people that developed it are a small group of folks who are investors themselves and saw a need to start a social media app where we could talk about investing. Now, it doesn't mean that it's gospel when it comes to the advice, so you have to do a sort of buyer beware, I would say. But let's go over the basic parts of Blossom Social. So it's like any other app. You're going to sign into the app, and then the first thing you're going to see is sort of the home screen. What you're going to have to do if you're brand new is make an account. And I do have a link in the description that you can use. So once you've created your profile, and I have mine set up here, it goes over who's following you, how many people you're following, and some more basic information about your account. Now, there's 2 types of accounts with Blossom. One is the most basic one. It's free. You can sign up for this for free. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it might just work for you. But of course, you can take the Pro one, which is $59.99. And it does come with some tax on it, works out to just under $70, and that's per year. And from that, you get all the added features of Blossom Social, which is absolutely great. Okay, so here's where the issue came for me when it comes to the Pro subscription. And the reason I'm using it is it's great metrics, and I'll go over a lot of those in a minute. But I'm going to tell you about what the issue was that I had. So my wife was going over a credit card statement, which is what we use to pay for it. And we do that because we get points with the credit card. So she noticed on the bill that there was a fee that had been paid through the card, and she didn't recognize it. She sent it to me. I was at work when I read it, and I didn't recognize it either. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see what it looks like. And of course, this puzzled me a bit. And I usually am quite aware of what goes on the card, but of course, as we all know, there can be fraudulent transactions on your credit card. So I started doing some fact checking, trying to figure out where this particular charge came from. What I usually do is Google the name of the company. So I took the information that you see on the screen, I Googled it, and what I found is it came up on a lot of threads and a lot of other posts that this was fraudulent activity. I read a bunch of the posts. I wasn't able to decipher what company it was or where it came from. And so immediately I thought, oh no, my credit card's been compromised. I contacted the company, the credit card company, and I reported it as a fraud. So of course, in doing so, then they cancel your credit card, which is a pain because now you have to go back and you have to, take all the companies that are using that card and get your new card, and it takes about 10 days, so there's quite a lag. So any points that I was about to get for paying for things between then and now, I'm not going to get any of that. At any rate, all of a sudden after that, I noticed my Blossom Social account wasn't working on the Pro side. And of course, I quickly realized what happened when I looked at the totals. It was actually Blossom Social. So I immediately reached out to them, and within the Blossom Social app, you can see here in the top right, there's a help section or a communication section, and so I went to that and I communicated with them. They communicated back actually quite quickly. I was impressed because you get a response that says, I think I sent it on a Saturday, and they said they wouldn't be responding till Monday, but to their credit, they actually responded to me on Sunday, and I was able to determine that what had happened was because you use Apple Pay to pay for it, this is what the Apple Pay receipt looks like. And unfortunately, they were not able to verify the actual details, so I actually used my Google account through Apple Pay to email them and confirm it, and I quickly realized that indeed that was the case. But here's the beauty was I was so impressed with the Blossom Social folks. They were on it right away. So I explained to them that I have this channel and that I promote Blossom for them on my channel. And there are a lot of other people on YouTube that do that as well. So I'm not special or anything, but I conveyed to them that the people that do follow me, I think deserve the transparency that I use with Blossom Social. And because if you follow me, which you can do, you can go over and follow me like on any other social media platform, well, you would find that you can't see some of those metrics anymore. And I said the inconvenience that was caused by this was caused because of a billing error that doesn't say what the company's name is. And they were really great. So high five to Blossom Social. They actually gave me the rest of the subscription for free for the rest of the year. So if you're not signed up for Blossom Social, I highly suggest you get over there. There are over, I don't know what the numbers are today, but I know recently that it was well over 100,000. It could be much more than that. I actually think it's a fantastic platform to use, especially as a beginner, because you can communicate with either other beginners or, like I said, people that have been in the game for a long time and investing. So again, big shout out to Blossom Social. Thank you very much for doing that. All right, so let's go over some of the other features. So obviously here you can see that there is, like any social media post or any app, you can just go over everybody's posts. You can like them, you can comment on them. Obviously, after you read them, generally people will put links in them. Here's what mine looks like. Right now, I don't do a lot of posting when it comes to the actual investing because I feel that my channel does that for me. And so I post on there when I post most of my new videos, not all of them. There are video series on a monthly update that I do that I don't put on there. It's just these videos that you're seeing today. And obviously here we go through the metrics. So on the metrics side, you're able to look at your entire portfolio. You're able to look at it for how much is in it, what the percentages of each security is broken down by performance, how it's doing percentage-wise, how much it's up in dollar amount. You can look at dividends. You can break the dividends down by month to see how much you're earning. And you can see here by this bar graph that it just shows each month and each year total returns. And then it can also break your securities down into where they're invested, whether it's North America, international, or Canada. Like I said, there's so many great features to Blossom that I really think it's worth it. All right, so again, a big shout out to the Blossom staff for being so quick to respond to my issue and then dealing with, of course, the payout portion of it for the next year. You be rest assured that I'll be signing up for the next year after this one as well because, again, I think it's a great app. All right, coming up, next video will be my monthly update, so stand by for that one. We're almost at the end of the month here, so I'll be shooting that one right away. And, of course, there are other subjects that I'll be introducing in all of my videos. And one of them is SCHD. If you hold that, ETF has made some big changes, so stand by for that. You're going to see that in the next video that I shoot. All right, folks, if you made this far in the video, thanks for sticking around to watch it. By watching the videos, you're supporting my channel. We're growing in size, 879 subscribers. We're so close to that 1,000 subscribers. The watch hours are growing. Again, we have to get to that 4,000 watch hours in order to get to monetization. But it's like a goal for me. I'd like to achieve that. I've been working hard on this channel, and I want to make it the best thing that it can be for all the beginners that do watch it, or even if you're not a beginner and you follow me as well. You can buy me a coffee to support the channel. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to give me a like, a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button so you know when my next video is being posted. And of course, if you're just getting started investing, like I said, you probably want to watch this video series right here.